Welcome back to our channel. I am Danielle and together we are our time of the month. I'm in my office right now and I've realized that I desperately need to whittle down my collection. I need to get rid of things that are expired, old, things that I just don't really like, that don't work for me. I want to keep the makeup and skincare and just overall beauty products that work for me, that work best for me, instead of having so many blushes, so many foundations. I want to pare it down so that it's not as overwhelming and I don't need all this stuff. I want to make this room a good work area for me, not only for my day job, but for our time of the month stuff. I get nice natural sunlight in here and it's just a nice space. We got new carpeting. I've restructured the room, so I'm going to show you all of that. I got a mirror in here, so hopefully I can start taking some outfit photos, but the drawers that I'm going to show you are overfilling. There's stuff on the floor, there's stuff on top of my desk. I need to make room for all of it, and so I thought I would just show you some of the things I'm getting rid of. So come with me while I spring clean my beauty collection. All right, so this is the office. When you come in, as you can see, all the stuff I mentioned on the floor there. I need to find homes for all of that. I have a whiteboard here with some tasks and reminders. This is my desk where I not only get ready but try to do actual work as well. I did just get this mirror at HomeGoods and I really like it. It's kind of an easel style, but I just have it propped up in the corner for now. This you might recognize from my furniture DIY video that I did. I completely refinished this campaign dresser. I paid $8 for the set at Goodwill. One of them is in our living room downstairs, and this one was my nightstand, but it was far too big in our small bedroom, and so I thought it made sense to put it in here. I need to decorate this wall very much. There's a closet over here in the corner, and then this is an old antique window that someone transformed into a mirror. I actually bought that on Nextdoor this week. So I want to get rid of a lot of stuff so that I can hopefully use one or more of these drawers for things that get sent to us. Like today, Ren sent over their newest toner. This is the limited edition Daily AHA tonic and it smells like cucumbers. It's wonderful. I've already started using it. And then I have some more items down here that I've just recently ordered. Some of this stuff was originally sitting on top of my desk, but it just doesn't make sense because I need to have room to work. The desk that I have is from IKEA. I will link everything that is linkable in the description box. And then I do have one set of the Alex drawers. This desk was actually longer, but Mike cut 6 inches off of this side for me the other day, and I just feel like this fits the space so much better. My main focus right now would be this drawer and this drawer. Like, it's just so hard to find anything. There's stuff way in the back that I can't even see. And then I need to find homes for all of this. Here are all of the eyeshadows and eyeshadow palettes that I could find kicking around in my collection. I can already tell that I'm going to be getting rid of a lot of palettes because I don't tend to reach for them, with the exception of my very beloved Natasha Denona palette. I do find myself reaching for this all of the time. The way that I am thinking about things is, do I ever reach for it? Have I completely forgotten about it? So right off the bat, I can tell that I'm going to be getting rid of this Pixie eyeshadow palette. This is the It's Duty Time palette. I bought this a long time ago at a TJ Maxx. It's fine and it's pretty, and perhaps a friend might like to, you know, have a go at it. It's just not something I ever reach for. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. Similarly, this is another Pixie palette. I think they actually sent this one to us in PR. I've used it a few times, but again, it's not something I reach for. This is a really old Bare Minerals eyeshadow palette. It's discontinued, you can't buy it anywhere. I've used it many, many times, not even close to hitting pan, but again, I'm going to be parting with it because it is so old. This is probably 4 years old and, you know, not very hygienic. Sometimes I buy things and I couldn't really tell you why. I don't really gravitate toward warm eyeshadows. This is a Wet n Wild palette, very beautiful. I've only used it maybe once or twice, but again, I'm going to pass it on to a friend. I have another Pixie palette. This is the Hazelnut Haze. I much prefer this newer packaging than the plastic lids. There are no mirrors in those, and they're not as compact, whereas this, I feel like, you know, you could travel with this very easily. Again, a lot of warm shades, not really my style. It's got a great mirror. I think this would make someone really happy. So again, I'm gonna try to pass that on to a friend. I briefly signed up for BoxyCharm and I got 2 months worth of stuff that I just ended up really hating. So I canceled my subscription and I'm trying the detox box from the Detox Market. This is one of the things that they sent me and I was like, no chance I'm ever gonna wear these colors. Again, maybe someone more adventurous and more bold and more talented with eye makeup will like this. This is an old eyeshadow palette from 2015. This is the Lorac Unzipped palette. Caitlin actually owned this and then passed it on to me. I've used it. It looks abused and well loved, but again, it's very old. You know, we're going on like 5 or 6 years here with this, so I just think I need to put this in the bin. Beautiful colors. I really love Lorac shadows. So I'm allowing myself to keep several palettes. So far, this is my goodbye pile. I feel really good about that. Palettes I am keeping, the Natasha Denona Glam palette. I talked about that already. I really love it. This is pretty new for me. I haven't even really used it. It's the Laura Mercier Hidden Gems. Again, another old palette. This is my original Lorac Pro. Should get rid of it, but I'm not going to because as you can see, it's very well loved and I'm still using it. Some of these colors are just not found anywhere else in my collection, so I'm gonna hang on to this for a bit more. And then I have this that I just rediscovered. Pardon the smears, but this is the Milani Soft and Sultry palette. I focus less on these lighter shades and I really like to use these deeper shades. I actually just swatched sloppily a couple shades from there. That was just like one little finger swatch. Yeah, really, really stunning stuff coming from Milani. And of course, another tiny Natasha Denona palette. You've probably heard me talk about this a lot. It's one of my favorites. It's especially great for traveling. And then I have just some like single shadows. My Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize. I really love these. I have 2 shades, Bet, which is no longer what it's called. I forget the new name for it. And then Chocolate Bronze. These are like my favorite one and done shadows. Bet has been more well loved by me because it's like a very beautiful golden bronze shade that I just love. I have 3 shadow sticks, all by Nude Sticks I'll be saving because they're fairly new. This is a NARS duo that I've had for a long time, but again, I'm not parting with it because I do use it. This is NARS Isolde. Gorgeous, gorgeous, sort of coppery shades that look really beautiful with blue eyes, or any color eye, honestly. And then I have 2 Pixie glitter toppers. Where I'm going to wear these, I'm not really sure, but I just don't feel like parting with them right yet. And then my NARS Smudge Proof eyeshadow base, keeping that. So, I mean, I'm getting rid of this and I'm keeping this, and I feel okay with that. We'll see how it looks in my drawer. Okay, so I've kind of moved my trash pile / donate pile over here, and I have repackaged all of my eyeshadows that are singles into this little plastic container that I've been using for a really long time, and I'm putting that back in my drawer. Now I have stuff like this that's mostly concealers, setting powders, and foundations. I really need to pare this down big time. I actually have more that I need to grab. Okay, I told you there was a lot. These are just base products. I need to be kind of cutthroat with this, so that's what we're gonna do. First things first, I'm getting rid of the Hourglass Stick Foundation in the shade Shell. I've had this for a few years. It's fine, but I find it to be a little bit tricky to blend. It's also just a little bit too thick for my preference. I've been really liking a more dewy, light look, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. Another thing I wasn't a huge fan of were these L'Oreal Infallible foundations. I'm not sure if it's the sunscreen in here or what, but I found the scent to be a little bit off-putting, and I also felt like it easily congested my skin. I loved the coverage and I liked the shade selections. It just didn't work out for me, so I'm going to be passing these along. Tinted moisturizers slash serum-y style foundations. Actually, I have another one here. So these are both fairly new to me and I really like both of them, so I will be keeping them, the Wet n Wild and the L'Oreal. And then I do have the Slip Tint by Say. I have not used this yet, but I did get the shade 2 and it has SPF in here, and it's, you know, you treat it again kind of like a tinted moisturizer. So I am going to be keeping this as well. Favorite foundation of all time, keeping that. It's my Lancome Tinty Doll. I just love it. It's forever a go-to. Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. People love it. It's fine, in my opinion. However, I don't think that it's worth the price. 4 of the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless shades. I really love these foundations from the drugstore. They're very affordable, around $7.99. Great shade selection, and I often use this as a mixing foundation when I don't have something that matches my skin tone perfectly. I'm going to be getting rid also of this darkest shade. It's Rich Tan, shade 238. I'm going to pass on that and just keep both of these. One is a little bit darker, one is a little bit lighter. Another favorite, I really love the Wet n Wild Dewy Photo Focus foundation. I did not like the original, which was a bit more matte, but this is fantastic. Then I'm moving on to tinted sunscreens, and I'm keeping both of these because I really like them, and they were both purchased last summer. I have SkinCeuticals Physical Fusion UV Defense, and then I have the Color Science Bronze Sunforgettable Face Shield. Both are SPF 50, and I kind of switch between them. This is very liquidy, whereas this is more like a lotiony cream. I also have 2 sort of glowy base products. One by L'Oreal, this is the True Match Lumi Glotion, and then this one is the Super Radiant Booster by NARS. I'm going to swatch them. So these are them swatched on my hand. This darker shade over here is the NARS, and then this lighter one is the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. I think I'm going to get rid of this one because it looks a little too pink for my skin tone, and as we get into the warmer months, I think I'll definitely be reaching for this darker one far more, so I'm going to pass on that. And then it gets tricky because these are foundations that I don't particularly like. This is the NARS Soft Matte Foundation. I used it twice and I did not love it because I found it to be way too matte and dry. It accentuates your pores and your fine lines, and I just don't think it's for me. Again, I don't like a matte foundation. It feels really nice. It almost feels powdery to the touch, like it sets itself. But this just isn't my style anymore, so I'm going to let myself get rid of it. And I have these 2 Becca foundations. This is the Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Wear. I put this on during a live video, a get ready with me, and immediately washed my face and had to start over because I hated the way it looked. Last foundation is the Maybelline 24-Hour Foundation. I don't know who's wearing makeup for 24 hours, but it's certainly not me. This, again, was just something that was extremely full coverage. I didn't really love the way my skin looked with it. Yeah, it just feels really thick. I'm gonna get rid of that too, because it's just not me. I don't love it. 2 of my favorite setting powders, I just have the CoverGirl in 2 shades. I accidentally bought the shade Fair, and it's practically the color of my desk, so I'm going to be getting rid of that because it just doesn't work out for me. I am going to keep the shade Light, and I'm also going to be keeping my... No! Dang it! Well, that sucks. I just put my thumbnail through it. This is my number 7 Lift and Illuminate powder, and it's really lovely, you know, apart from that giant gouge I just put in it, but I really like this for under eye. I'm going to be getting rid of the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. It's nearly empty. This was another glowy product that I forgot I even owned, but it's very old. This is something that I just recently purchased. It's the Makeup Revolution Eye Bright Concealer. My favorite concealer of all time for under the eye is RMS Uncover Up. It's just the perfect under eye concealer if you have aging skin like me. For spot coverage, I really like these. I have the L'Oreal Age Perfect and the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. This is actually on its last leg. I am scraping at the sides here, but I'm really determined to use it up, so I'm going to save it. Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Concealers. I have 2 shades. One more for winter, one more for summer, so I'm going to save those. This is my eyebrow, eyelash, eyeliner bin. Some of these just need to go right into the empties bin because they are in fact empty, and I don't know why I've been keeping them in here. These are all mascaras that I really do like. I would repurchase them. In fact, I have a new lash primer by L'Oreal that I need to just deposit right in here. 4 full-size mascaras. I have the Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara. I've had this before and I really like it. Brand new one, ready to go. I've got the Kiko Milano Luxurious Lashes Extra Volume. I like this a lot. And then 2 other favorites, the Marc Jacobs At Lashed and the Bobbi Brown Smoky Eye Mascara. I'm going to keep all of these because I do reach for these. I really love shadow sticks. And then I have a whole bunch of brow product. I had no idea that I had 3 open Brow Luxe Precision Brow Pencils. These are my favorite. I wear the shade Ash. I also have 3 in reserve because they keep us very well stocked, so I appreciate that. And then I have this NYX one that I was trying to use up, and I mean, it's just a nub, so that was a success. And obviously that goes there. Alright, so hopefully you remember what this drawer looked like before. Looks much better now, much more organized. I can see what I have. I know this is too much makeup, I get it, but so far here's all the stuff I'm getting rid of, which I do feel good about. Now we're moving on to this drawer, which is going to be really hard for me because this is like all of my favorite stuff because we're focusing on blushes, bronzers, and lip products, which I just love so much, so it's going to be hard for me to whittle this down, but I'm going to try my best. I'm aware that that's a lot of bronzer to keep, but I ended up getting rid of 3. I have a NARS cream bronzer here that's just kind of dried up, a Cover FX bronzer that I really loved, but again, it's just one of those products that's super old, and so I do think it's time to pass it on. Okay, these are my blushes, my babies. I love them so much, but I can definitely get rid of some. This was incorrectly sent to me one time. It's a chubby stick by Clinique, and while it's pretty, it's just not something I reach for, so I'm going to see if someone else would like it. I'm also going to be getting rid of these Tarte blushes. Again, I've had them for a really long time, and I don't really reach for powder blushes all that much, and when I do, I want them to have a little bit of glow to them. Not necessarily glitter, but I mean, I feel like these just never die, and it says they're only good for 12 months, so definitely have exceeded that. This is just a little sample guy. I think I got it in like a birthday giveaway a couple of years ago from Sephora. I'm also going to be getting rid of this Lancome blush in the shade Blush Subtil. It's just a very cool toned pink and not something I really reach for. I'm going to be getting rid of the Balm Springs blush. It just doesn't really have a lot of payoff anymore. I'm not sure if it's because it's just so old, but I have had it for about 3 years. I love the Balm products. I think they're really great. I like their packaging because it's cardboard and magnetic, and it also has a little mirror in there if you want to use it. Great stuff, but again, it almost seems like it's lost a lot of its pigment. Like, I dipped in twice and I rubbed it here and you can't really see anything. As far as the powder blushes that I am going to keep, I'm going to keep 4. So I have an Almay Healthy Hue blush. I really like this. It doesn't even look like it's been used. The pattern is still engraved in there, but I have used it a lot. Again, cardboard magnetic packaging. I have this Age Perfect Radiant Blush that I have not tried yet. I bought this when I bought the foundation, serum, and the concealer, and I do like this color a lot, so I'm looking forward to trying that. A forever favorite, I've bought this many times, Milani Luminoso. You've probably heard all about it. It's a wonderful luminous blush. And then this really light colored blush by Buxom. It's called Seychelles. I like the satin finish, and it's nice and tiny, so I'm going to save that. Then we go to cream blushes, and I'm not going to be getting rid of any of these because cream blushes are my favorite. As you can see, I have a lot from Nude Sticks that I do really love, especially during the summertime. I just think nothing looks better than a little bit of cream blush and bronzer and highlight on your face during a summer day. I also have this Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek, although it looks like it had a bite taken out of it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get rid of this. I am going to get rid of this. Maybe Caitlin will want it. I don't know. It's a little bit too hot pink for me. So I'm going to pass that on. It also looks like something bit it. I know that's not possible, but I have Wander Beauty. This is pretty new. This is the Double Date Lip and Cheek palette. It has this beautiful peachy coral blush on the top, and then the bottom layer is just like a clear glossy base or topper. So I'm going to save that. And I really love my Ilia Color Haze. Again, another great cream blush that I just can't part with. And then something I did just purchase, the Tower 28 cream blush in Rush Hour. And I have a feeling it's going to look very similar to the Wander Beauty one. Oh my god. This is what I do, you guys. Would you say I have a type? Because I think this is my type. I have 3 cream highlighters that I really do love. I actually have 2 of the same one by Nude Sticks. It's called Hey Honey. One of them I have not used, or maybe I have not used it because it came in a kit, but I am going to save them. I also have the Magic Luminizer by RMS. Again, a really beautiful, very natural, very wearable, all over face highlight. With these, just make sure you really tighten the lid so they don't dry out. When I bought that Tower 28 blush, I also bought the Bronzino in the shade West Coast, and this looks like it's going to be so much fun for summer. I know it looks a little bit intimidating with the shimmer component there, but when I looked at swatches online, it just looked so promising, so I can't wait to try that out. This is my powdered highlighter collection. I will be getting rid of this very busted up Pixie highlighter. I would absolutely buy this again. It's just, I've owned it for way too long. The shade is Subtle Sunrise. You can buy this at Target. I really only ever used this side, and it looks like I've put it through hell, but really beautiful shade. I mean, it's very old. It needs to go away. I'm also going to be getting rid of the very first luxury highlighter I ever bought. This is Champagne Pop by Becca. I got this when Jaclyn Hill launched it, so you know that is like 7 years old, maybe more. It was beautiful. I feel like I really used a lot of it. I don't know how I could be expected to use this entire pan up because it's really huge, but it was great. It's just, I know that it's very old and it needs to go into the bin. I'm gonna get rid of this too, even though I would repurchase it. I may even repurchase it soon. This is my favorite drugstore highlighter. It's the Wen Wild Mega Glow in the shade Precious Petals. I've really done the work on this, but again, I've had it for so long. I'm pretty sure this was featured in our first ever blog post over 5 years ago, so I'm gonna go ahead and part ways with that. So I'm only going to keep 2 powder highlighters, and this one is the RMS Beauty Living Glow Face and Body Powder. It is absolutely stunning. This is the small size. Do not buy the big size. You do not need it because it's so concentrated and beautiful. A little bit goes a very long way. It comes with this little tiny puff, which I don't really use, but I did just want to show you how stunning that is. Do you see what I see? Look at that. It's not chunky, it's not glittery, it's beautiful. And you'll have this forever. And then I'm going to keep the Catrice More Than Glow highlighter. The shade that I have is Beyond Golden Glow. This is a recent addition to my collection, and I feel like this will take the place of my Wet n Wild really nicely. So I'm gonna keep this. This is the old Hourglass packaging. I don't know if you can tell by the writing down here, it does not look like this anymore. This was the first ambient lighting powder I ever bought in the shade Ethereal Light. It's just far too light and ghostly, especially as we're moving into warmer months. You know, I really try to use it up, but I am going to be getting rid of this. The one I would continue to repurchase is the shade Dim Light, and this is just much more of a natural looking color for me, and I really love this. I use it all the time, so I'm gonna hang on to that. And then you'll see I have 2 Hourglass palettes here. This one I got a couple of years ago, and it is looking a little worse for the wear. I really used up, I would say mostly these 4, but the things I have left really are a blush and a blush topper. I never really used the blush topper. It's just not my kind of a product. So I am going to go ahead and get rid of this. Again, it's very old. I'm pretty sure this is from 2018. I need to work on using up other things, so I'm going to recycle this. But the one I will keep, and the one I would probably repurchase again, is the smaller palette that they came out with last year. It is much more condensed. It just has a blush, a highlighter, a setting powder, and a bronzer. And again, I reach for this all the time. I'm actually wearing a little bit of the highlighter and the blush on my face today. Okay, last but not least, we have lipsticks. And this does not include everything that is in my purse. There are probably at least 20 floating around all my bags. Caitlin actually gave me this lipstick holder that I keep on top of my vanity. I'm just gonna dump it all on the floor and make some piles. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through these and pick out the ones that I know are definite no's. I can put 36 lipsticks in here. So I'm gonna put the 36 ones that I would reach for the most on my vanity, and then anything extra like lip liners and balms and stuff like that can go in this bin. A few empty holes here in this one, and this will sit on my vanity like I said. My once overflowing bin is now at a much more manageable size. I have all my lip crayons, some taller skinnier lip glosses, and my lip liners in here. Okay, so here's the after of that second drawer. Everything behind this has been all cleared out, and this looks much more manageable. I have all my cream products in here. Powdered blushes, bronzers, highlighters, primers, setting powder, and then lips. It's just so much more satisfying. And then all of this is what I am getting rid of. I would say it's like at least a third of what I had, which is great. And this is a good lesson to not consume as much. Like, just because I see something and I want it doesn't mean I need it. Okay, so that is it for this video. As I said, I need to declutter a lot of my skincare, body care, hair care stuff. That's gonna have to be a whole separate video because I feel like this was really long. I am very pleased with how much I'm getting rid of, although it, like I said, is an eye-opening experience seeing all this stuff that I'm essentially wasting. But I'm trying to do better moving forward, and I hope that this is a nice fresh start for me. So I actually know what I have now, and I can use it and not be like, oh wow, I just discovered this hiding in the back of my drawer. Everything has a place, and I really like that. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you comment and subscribe to our channel for more fun videos. If you have any content suggestions, leave them below in a comment, and we will try to do it. Okay, I am going to wrap this up, and we will see you soon. Goodbye. I can't cut it without Caitlin. It feels weird, but cut it. I could do one of these. And scene.